Oh my god. Oh. Okay, so I found a video. I found a separate video to watch instead of the one that we're watching because I don't know. It feels weird watching this video because I'm basically reacting to someone else's reaction and stuff like that, you know. So I just found the video that most people probably want to know about. The Slender Man Stabbers arrest caught on body cam. This was a week ago. I'm very curious. I'm very curious. Let me just emphasize, I'm very, very curious. So we're gonna watch it. Fucking odds! And with that.
Give me your name and date of birth. You're not wanted for murder, right?
That was Slender Man Stabber Morgan Geyser trying to hide her identity from police after she ran away from a group home.
Lieutenant Hunt. Lieutenant anybody.
Where's my hair go?
Then give me your name.
I did something wrong. She doesn't know what I did. I have the body camera footage and new details about Geyser's arrest. So sorry. I wish I had it. I'm Angie.
Okay. Oh, immediate. Okay, hold on. Immediately I'm thinking, wow, she's very dramatic for someone who literally escaped from, like, I want to say jail or something like that. She was like put in jail or some shit like that, from what I remember. And she escaped and somehow, like, got into a group home, apparently. Or the group home was the prison that she was supposed to be in, to kind of help recover her mind from the traumatizing event of stabbing her friend. Because that's literally what she did. She stabbed her friend while she was in middle school. And fully thought that it was going to summon Slender Man because, oh wow, creepypastas. I'm gonna go ahead and summon Slender Man. I'm gonna be a proxy. I'm gonna make Slender Man love me. I'm reading you. You know why I'm reading you. You know exactly why I'm reading you. I'm not gonna say anything else. Anyways, we're gonna continue with the video.
Net Levy, and this is Crime Fix. Let me tell you something. If you think the crime stories we cover here are scary, wait until you hear what's happening with your personal data online. Your name, your phone number, even your address. It's all floating around the internet for data brokers to sell or scammers to steal. Our sponsoring for you. So if you care about your at a truck stop in Hosen, you really should take your data back with Incogni. Use code CrimeFix for 60% off an annual plan. When police found Morgan Geyser at a truck stop in Hosen, Illinois on Sunday night, they had no idea who she was. Morgan Geyser was with a friend, a transgender woman, and they were apparently trying to make their way south. But Morgan's infamy and their lack of cash became a big stumbling block. Morgan Geyser is, of course, one half of the Slender Man stabbing duo. She and a friend, Anissa Wire.
So, the girl on the left, this one, she's the one that's currently being called out and stuff like that. So she's currently the one at fault. and she's the one that just escaped.
Lured their friend, Peyton Lutner, to a park in Waukesha, Wisconsin in 2014 and stabbed her, nearly killing her, to impress a non-existent internet character known as Slender Man. Thank goodness, Peyton survived. It took several years, but Morgan and Anissa were determined to be not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. Anissa was later released to the custody of her father and placed on GPS monitoring. Morgan, despite objections from prosecutors, was granted conditional release by a judge earlier this year. She was supposed to spend 40 years in a psychiatric facility. She was placed in a group home in the last couple of months on GPS monitoring in Madison, Wisconsin, until police said she cut off her ankle bracelet on Saturday night and took off. An alert was issued, and an employee at a Thornton's truck stop more than 100 miles away called police Sunday night because there were two people loitering outside.
Okay, I stand corrected. She apparently didn't go to jail. In my opinion, she should have gone to jail because you don't stab your fucking friend.
A police officer found these two people in a pile outside of the truck stop. Take a look.
Hey guys. Guys. Hey. You guys. Hey, unfortunately, you guys can't be back here. I believe that Robin's police department, you're able to sleep in their lobby. What was that? Okay. Thank you, I appreciate that. Sorry to bother you guys. I appreciate you guys being understanding.
Now, the woman who worked at the truck stop, she was very kind, but concerned.
Yeah, legit, I would have been concerned too. 100%. I would have legit been concerned. But also, I would have been very, very wary of her because I would probably recognize her. Insomniac, welcome. How you doing, man? I'm doing my part, LMAO. That's fair. I appreciate it. We're currently watching Slender Man Stabbers arrest caught on body cam. It's fucking wild so far. But yeah, for context, so these middle school girls, for those who don't know, these middle school girls ended up taking their friend to a nearby forest in the park and stabbed said friend to impress the non-existent character known as Slender Man, as stated in this video here, which is valid because, oh my god, fuck, dude, hold on. I'm not gonna lie, I low-key imagine someone like making an animation of the video and just like just making it into a animation where Slender Man is just like shocked and disgusted at the friend instead of like praising the friend or something like that. Like, bro, like, I get it because creepypasta fans are fucking wild and crazy and a little bit delusional. Let's be real here. No, a little bit is an understatement. Anyways, but yeah, I just imagine Slender Man like hiding behind a tree, just like, why would you do this? Why would you do this? This is not how you do it. Why would you do this? That's your friend. Why would you do this? Or at least that's how I imagine Slender Man being if he was an actual creature. I mean, like, if you watch the Slender Man movie, you can probably get somewhat of an idea, but also, like, they don't really explain how Slender Man, like, offs the people that he victimizes. It's never explained. And if it is, I don't know the explanation. I didn't read the Slender Man creepypasta to the fullest, so I couldn't say. My thing was just the killer. And Scarecrow, I think is her name. And also Laughing Jack, but you know, that's just me. Hell yes, Jeffy! Jeffy! Oh Lord. But yeah, so regardless, you don't stab your fucking friend. Period. Point blank period. You don't do that shit. Like, seriously. I did a low cash Jeff the Killer for Halloween forever ago. Hey, nice. That is awesome. Shout out to Low Cash. That is a cool TikTok creator. I haven't been on TikTok in a hot minute. I refuse to be on TikTok for multiple different reasons. The main one being is that personally I don't think that it's gonna survive. Mostly, I just feel like an estranged family member going back into the house for a reunion. Whenever I go on TikTok, I'll be real right now. But I mean, like, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know why I went on that random ass tangent, but here we are. I'm glad you did a low cash thing though. That was really cool. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and continue the video. Because I'm curious. I'm very curious.
That's what's crazy. If my show was broken, where you guys from? South? Like how far? Okay, I just want to make sure you guys are warm.
You know what's crazy is that I don't think the cops know yet. That's really wild because like I think the cop is just like they're trying to take care of some homeless people, right? Or at least that's what the cop is thinking that he's doing, you know? But like it's so fucking wild to think about that. Like imagine this, you're just a cop, you're just like chilling, vibing, having a time and stuff like that. I got back into TikTok to keep up with some of my favorite content creators because I don't always see them on other social media, other socials. The reason it was taken away was stupid and lacked evidence. Honestly, I agree, but also at the same time, I've gotten kind of fed up with how the world runs at this point. I fully expect them to take it down once again, regardless of if the evidence was true or not, because I feel like Trump is gonna be like not to go political or anything like that, but in theory, I think Trump is just gonna like try to wipe out TikTok all over again because he tried to do it in the first place. I would not be surprised if he tried to do it a second time, you know? And if he does try to do it a second time, all I have to say is I caught that shit. But also at the same time, I'm really disappointed because that essentially means that his whole entire character was nothing but a farce. Which I won't be surprised if that is the case regardless because of how much shit he's in. Aside from the point, that is where I stand when it comes to TikTok at the moment. It's gotten to a point where it's gone political, unfortunately. And I hate the fact that it's gone political because not even like a lot of social media is exactly political, technically speaking. I mean, it is, but also like I don't know. I don't think social media is supposed to be a political platform for a lot of things, but at the same time, I don't believe that politics should be a negative thing to be spoken about. Just point blank period. Again, there's my secondary standpoint on the circumstances. I'm gonna shut up, go back to the video, because again, I'm very curious. Oh yeah. Also, last thing that I want to say: the girl in the video is probably guilt ridden, and the cop doesn't even know it. The girl in the video is like, I think she might have traumatized herself on accident whenever that shit happened. And like, technically speaking, you can't really traumatize yourself in certain circumstances. I mean, you can, but like, it's only because of your actions that you traumatize yourself. I'm being stupid. I'm gonna shut up.
No problem. I just want to make sure you guys have someone place you want to stay. How old are you? 23? How old is he? How old is she? 23? Okay. Alright, well, give him your name and date of birth, but you just gotta make sure you're saying who you are, you say you are, okay? And you're not missing any stuff, okay? No problem. Thank you for calling. Okay, what's your last name? Because I don't believe you're 23. That's fine. Okay? And we got called here for a call. So, to be honest, I want to make sure that you're not missing. As long as you're not missing, you go on your way. Are you missing from somewhere? Give me that date of birth. You got your way. Huh? 19? That's fine. You're still on the home. So, yeah. So, what's your last name? No what? Okay, well, then we're going to arrest you. We'll take you an ID. We're going to hold you an ID at the station. So, what we're going to do, you don't want to obstruct an officer. Give me your name and date of birth.
Immediately, I can actually tell that she is afraid. I think she's afraid of the ridicule and the judgment that she's gonna get here in a bit, because she knows she fucked up. She knows that she's not supposed to be out and about right now. She knows that she's supposed to be in a group home, but she also seemingly knows that anything that she says, anything that she tries to say, will backfire on her, and so she's not trying to say anything in the slightest. It's more to protect herself than anything else. I understand it, but also I feel like that's really fucked up, in all honesty.
You're not wanted for murder, right? Okay, then there shouldn't be any problem. Okay? You're making it big. What's your last name? How do you spell it? I-E-S? Okay. G-R-I-E-S. What's your first name?
Morgan goes on to give a fake name to police, but kind of stumbles through her lies.
How do you spell it?
She is really struggling also simultaneously, and that's really concerning.
A-N-I-E. Middle initial? Do you have a middle initial? Well, now you did something wrong because you come back no record on file. And that means you're lying to us about your name. Okay? So, now that's obstruction. Look, I'm going to give you one more chance before we're going to take you in custody. Fingerprint. Okay? So, just be honest. It's not a big deal. You're making it a bigger deal. So, Stephanie.
Is she like partnered with this person? I'm very curious on that, because the way that she's holding her friend is like, I don't know, it feels kind of coupley.
Give him your real name. Okay? Because if he comes back, no record on file, also, which I hope he doesn't, that means both of you are lying. I'm gonna take you both to fingerprints. Okay? Don't make us do all that. We just want to send you on your way. No, you can't. You guys wanted for something? Why are you hiding your name? I don't understand. But you didn't come back anything even out of Wisconsin. I just know. Okay. This was his personal preference. Okay. You can have that preference, but we're gonna have that preference of taking you in and fingerprinting. Okay? That's what we're gonna do. Is there any way to avoid that? Yeah, give us your right name, date of birth, and then we can go on our way. We don't want to mess with you. We don't want even.
Okay, I get why the girl. I get why Morgan is trying to hide her identity. I don't get why the trans person is trying to hide their identity. Because it kind of feels like they're both hiding from the law. And it feels like they're both criminals of something specific. I just don't know what.
We don't want to take you in a fingerprint, but that's what I have to do. I have to make sure you're not wanted for anything, no homicides or anything like that. That's it.
I promise you.
Okay.
I know it's.
I don't know you and you don't know me.
I know.
Okay. So give your name. Make sure you ain't wanted for no warrants, and then you're good. Stephanie. One last chance.
Please let her go.
So you broke the Illinois compiled statute of obstructs identification at this moment, which is a Class A misdemeanor. That's a arrestable offense. Therefore, you can be placed under arrest for that, both of you, because you lied and you lied. You can give me your real name.
And we got this guy's here because you guys are loitering in the back of the business. It's not like we approached you guys.
There's no lawyer. Okay. Okay. So it's not a big deal. What is your name? Don't make us arrest you and do all this extra stuff that we don't need to do.
We have other stuff to worry about.
No, we got way more serious things to worry about than this. We got called here. It ain't like we just walked up and started messing with you.
Now, these officers have told Morgan Geyser and her friend over and over again, just give us your names. This is pretty standard stuff. They have to check for warrants. Then the cops turn up the heat.
At this point, we're just gonna detain. Detain her.
Detain her.
Please let her go.
Then,
Please let her go.
then give her your name.
I did something wrong. She doesn't know what I did.
Okay, well, fine.
I did something really wrong.
Now, this friend must mean a lot to Morgan because she reveals her identity in this exchange for their freedom. But one officer doesn't quite let them off the hook just yet.
We have to identify you. Okay, whether you agree or disagree with that, that just plays no factors in it, okay? The law is very clear. You got the right information. And I'm pretty sure you're a smart person, so you understand that. Okay? Now, I ain't trying to have you in our station for 4 or 5 days, maybe even a week, until your prints come back. Okay? Unless that's what you want to do. So, but you didn't give me your real information. I don't care about her because they're dealing with her. I'm dealing with you. Okay? You can't give me your information? Why? Why can't you give me your information? What's wrong with that?
She doesn't know my real name.
Okay. Well, give him your real name. Don't tell him that.
What's your last name? Okay, so it's Morgan.
M-O-R-G-A-N.
And then your last name?
G-E-Y-S-E-R.
G-U. What is it?
G-E-Y-S-E-R. I promise she did not know.
G-E-Y-S.
E-R.
So Morgan is your first name, right?
Yes.
G-E-Y-S-E-R.
No.
Let me say it 5
Okay, we will.
I will never see her again.
Yeah, you will.
No, I won't.
Why?
Because I did something bad. Let me say goodbye.
We will let you say goodbye. But just stand by until we figure out what's going on. Okay? I promise I'll let you say goodbye.
Out of what I did.
Yeah, no matter. That's my word, okay?
I will say this. She's very loyal. and when it came down to it, she had to be honest. But the fact that it took that long for her to be that honest says more about her need to keep her identity and her need to keep herself safe than anything else. This is how I see it. Y'all y'all can make up your own conclusions and stuff like that. Video titles on screen right there. All right there. So you can check it out on your own if you want and just take a look. But also, this is probably going to be going into my YouTube channel on the VOD, so heads up for that. This is very, very interesting.
And then they move in for the arrest.
Does Eyeglass World have a time machine?
Fucking ads. Oh my god, it's Alistair. Wait, I just realized that's Alistair. Holy fuck. Fucking wild. Chat, how are you guys enjoying the stream so far? Is it good? Audio fine? Can you hear everything alright? Is it muffled or anything like that? Do I need to turn up the volume on the TV?
Go ahead and put your hand up.
You said I could
I
say
will let you. You guys go in the same place. Okay?
okay. I'll promise you that.
Here, just go over there.
You promised I could say goodbye.
Yeah, you guys are going to the same station. You guys are going to the same place. Okay, we know you're not giving us your real information.
Yeah.
So why are they saying that there's nothing on record with that name?
Audio seems good. I can hear you. Maybe bump up the volume on the TV a bit, but don't drown yourself out, you know? That's fair. That's fair. Alright. I will turn it up to 20, see if that works. Audio good? Is that better?
My fingerprints will pop up.
Your what?
My fingerprints will pop up.
Look awful?
Will pop up.
Oh, okay.
Thumbs up all around. Coolio.
And you're telling me that your information that you gave
Can you hear
will
me
go
if
back
I
to those
speak?
fingerprints?
Yes.
Okay.
Patrol car. Officers still aren't aware of what really bad thing she did.
She's saying that really, really bad. So only really, really big bad. Yeah. You'll never see me again. I hope she didn't commit a homicide.
That has gotta be a really wild thing to say. You're just over here like 19 years old and you're like, I did a really bad thing. She doesn't know. It's really, really bad. I did a bad thing. It was so bad. It was so bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That actually is the energy that's giving off, low-key. Just sorry. I'm sorry. Hit him with that wild fuck shit right there. Alright.
See the way she's talking. Saying that's really, really bad.
Yeah. Well, these officers, they are in for quite a surprise, aren't they? So back to Morgan's friend. She's loaded into a cruiser.
Thank you for at least letting me be in the car and warm up.
Yeah, no problem.
No, thank you.
So I'm going to go get you guys a meal. President meal, okay?
What?
Some Wendy's.
Okay.
Tell them to get you some Wendy's so you can eat something.
Thank you.
Alright?
Appreciate it.
Big sigh. Straight up, just hit him with a big sigh.
We really do just want to be on our way, and we're sorry to cause trouble.
No problem. I just gotta find out who you are and then you'll be on your way.
That's not
But
gonna
lying to the
happen.
police is not good. You can't do that. I gave you guys plenty of time. Just give me your name when you get on your way. I mean, I could even try to find you guys somewhere to go.
It's not that simple.
Bro, I feel like, okay, for Morgan, I get why it's not that simple, but for her, I feel like she's got a hell of a fucking rep on her side too. Like, she's over here kind of acting like she is completely at fault, but like I don't know. It feels like she's trying to take the fall for Morgan, in my honest opinion, but like also not really. I don't know. I have way too many thoughts about this. I'm way too opinionated. I don't know if I should be saying a lot about what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, but it's just not that simple.
I will say though, the really fucked up part about like them not having the ability to actually identify themselves. Cause that's the thing about like your identity is that when your identity is given out, that is a state of vulnerability right there. And not a lot of people want to be in that state of vulnerability. So they don't often say their name a lot of the time, you know? Like they don't want to let people in. They don't want to let people see what's being shown and stuff, you know? Like that's how I honestly feel about this. And that's low key what it makes me kind of like think of it as, you know? Again, I have way too many thoughts about this, and I probably shouldn't be speaking my opinion on it, but here we are. And we're gonna continue.
Morgan's friend was right. It definitely was not simple. A police report states Officer Whiting then asked the male White for his information once again, to which he stated that his identification was in his book bag. I located a Wisconsin identification for Chad Mecca after a subsequent leads check on his identification. It showed him to be clear and valid out of Madison, Wisconsin. Chad was then Mirandized at 1:38 hours, to which he waived his rights and decided to speak to us. When asked where both of them came from, he stated from Wisconsin and that Chad met Morgan a couple of months ago through Good Shepherd Church. Chad then stated that he did not like how Morgan was treated at her group home where she resided. Chad also stated that they denied him visitation time with Morgan at the group home. Due to her being mistreated at the group home and him not being able to visit her, they both decided to run away from the group home. Chad stated they used public transportation, a Greyhound bus, to get from Wisconsin to Chicago. From Chicago, they both walked to the south side of Chicago, and that is when they took a Pace bus to Posen, where they ran out of money. Once in Posen, they stopped at the Thorntons and took a nap behind the building, and that is when Posen officers made contact with Chad and Morgan.
Oh. Oh, okay. Dude's a creep. What the fuck? Dude is straight up a creep. Look at him. I mean, like, ugh, not for me. I'm good. I'm good, chat. I'm good. What are your thoughts? I can't zoom in. I forgot. I keep forgetting that I can't zoom in. What are y'all's thoughts about this person? I'm thinking creepy person who's a wannabe trans person. That's the only way that I can describe it. I'm sorry. If I offend anyone, I do apologize. That is not my intention.
Is a transgender woman, as I mentioned earlier, who uses the name Charlie. These are photos of Charlie.
Okay. No. Okay, so she is in fact female. Never mind. Disregard. And her chosen name is Charlie.
At the police department, she was cited for criminal trespassing and obstructing identification. She told a local news outlet that Morgan Geyser is her best friend. Morgan Geyser was loaded into that cruiser, as you saw, for the ride to the Posen Police Department. Morgan was photographed at the police department where she agreed to speak with the officers. A police report states Morgan stated that she met Chad a couple of months ago at Good Shepherd Church. She then expressed how unfair she was treated at the group home and how she was upset that Chad was not allowed to visit her. Morgan stated that on multiple occasions, Chad visited her at the group home by climbing through her window and sneaking in. When asked about her ankle monitor, she stated that she cut it off with scissors and that she and Chad had discussed potentially making their way to Nashville, Tennessee. When asked how they got to Posen, Morgan stated that they took the Greyhound bus from Wisconsin to be here.
So is this kidnapping? Would this technically be like manipulated kidnapping? Technically? Or am I just like am I overstepping? Because like I don't know. I feel like the reason why Charlie didn't want her identity to be known is because she did something really fucked up. Like kidnap someone or something like that, or like did the same thing that Morgan did, stabbed a friend. Because yeah, friend stabbing. Yeah, no, motherfucker, no! Don't stab your friend. That is not how you keep friendships. That is how you lose friendships. Don't stab your friend. Don't do it. Chat, don't do it. That is not a good idea. That is never a good idea. Don't stab your friend. For those joining in, thank you for checking out this stream. I'm guessing you probably popped in at a really bad time. I do apologize for that. If you're enjoying this stream, don't forget to hit all notifications if you're new. If you're just tuning in, don't forget to share the stream because it always helps. Sharing is caring and such. We're watching the Slender Man Stabbers arrest caught on bodycam. It is an interesting video. I'm a little disappointed in the stabby stab girl. But ye. Slendy. Yeah, Slendy. Slendy and the Goon Machine, I mean, what? Hey, yo, what the fuck? No! What the fuck? No! The hell? Get that shit out of here! What the fuck, Insomniac? My lord. Slendy and the Goon Machine. Good fucking lord. There's my out of pocket. There's my out of pocket for the night. But the tendrils. Bro, get that tentacle porn shit out of here. What the fuck? Fucking weirdo. brought it upon yourself. Don't judge what you have been given. Also, don't judge what you've been given. The fuck?
Morgan was then taken to the courthouse in Markham for processing, where she appeared to regret her decision to leave the group home.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, whenever I first saw that clip, I was like, wow, she's feeling bad about stabbing her friend? That's a shock. I love my brain sometimes. I hate how it functions a lot of the time because I don't always have control over it, but like, I love how my brain functions sometimes.
So sorry.
The more I see this, the more I'm like, does she actually feel guilty? Like, for doing the thing that she did? Cause I don't know, it feels like she is, you know? It kind of feels like she is, but also at the same time, it feels like she's almost kind of making it about herself. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I have psychology knowledge. It's probably not the greatest knowledge. But, like, I know body language. I know reactions and stuff like that. And I know that half of those are oftentimes very crazy. Just saying. Aside from that, though, this is fucking wild. I think I've already said that at this point, but I'm gonna reiterate: this is fucking wild.
Morgan was booked into the Cook County Jail and appeared in court Tuesday for an extradition hearing where she waived extradition back to Wisconsin. So I'd like to bring in Chief William Alexander. He is the police chief in Posen, Illinois, where Morgan Geyser was taken into custody. Chief, what did you think when you got the call that Morgan Geyser, somebody who was wanted for escaping out of Wisconsin, had been taken into custody in your town?
Initially, I didn't know who they were referring to until they said the Slender Man. I remember that case from years ago, but I was a little confused as to what was going on because I didn't know that she escaped from Wisconsin. So after doing a little Googling myself, I realized who we had in custody.
So it sounds like she was trying to obviously hide her identity. This is somebody it appears, did not want to be in a group home in Madison, Wisconsin any longer. And from what we're hearing, from what your officers posted or you posted on your Facebook page, she gave a fake name.
Correct. She gave a fake name. When that information didn't come back correctly, the officer threw up a red flag for the officer that the subject she was with gave a fake name as well. So that's when the officers pushed a little further, and she made a spontaneous statement stating that she was fearful of giving her the correct name because she was that. So the officer pressed a little further. Ultimately, she gave the officer the name and said, "You need to compromise that name and go the other way."
About how long did it take for her to give her real name?
It was a little back and forth, maybe 3-4 minutes between them going back and forth with the fake name and her finally giving her correct name.
Okay, see, I will say this with the timestamp between the two moments, it's actually very short, so I will give her this. It didn't take that long for her to actually like fold and give her real name. But I'll be real, it's still a what the fuck for me, to be completely honest. That is still a what the fuck moment for me, cause you don't stab your friend. You don't stab your fucking friend. Point blank, period. I will keep saying that until it has been made known. You don't stab your fucking friend. That is not how you keep friendships. That's how you lose friendships, motherfucker.
What were you guys shocked though when you realized, wow, this is a girl who committed a pretty heinous crime?
Yeah,
She's not a girl anymore. She's a young woman now, but she was a girl when this happened.
correct. Like I said, I had to do a little Googling myself, and once I looked up the case and started reading a little bit more into it, I was very shocked.
What happened when your officers took her into custody?
Well, they took her into custody without.
So I have a little bit of a... Well, this makes me doubt the friendship was ever real. And more so just to get a victim to trust them. Honestly, that's kind of what it was. Like, a lot of people covered it during the time that it occurred. And a lot of people said that she was looking for a victim to... She was looking for someone to victimize. She and her friend were looking for someone to victimize so that they could summon the Slender Man. That's what the whole entire story was. They stabbed her friend so that they could summon the Slender Man, so that fuck knows who even got the ideas to try and summon the Slender Man, or even for what purpose. But they tried to summon him. They tried to summon it, and in doing so, they nearly killed their friend. But like, the fact that that whole entire situation was even remotely a thing is fucked up on its own. You know? Because, like, what would happen, you know, this is just a very overly exaggerative hypothetical, but what would happen if, let's say, there was an actual case where someone ended up getting candy shoved into their stomachs? Fun little fact, that is actually how Laughing Jack kills his victims. He shoves candy into their stomachs, making them essentially human pinatas. It's fucked. It's really fucked. He has a really fucked up sense of humor. He's also really sadistic. But yeah, no, like, that is the equivalent of what Morgan Gyers was trying to do. She was trying to create a crime scene that involved a fictive character who is not even remotely like an actual character, despite at the time a lot of people believing that the creepypastas were actual people. And according to some sources, I will say this, according to some sources, there have been a lot of people who have confirmed and also exposed all of the creepypastas. like, I think Jeff is actually one of the ones that is debunked, if I'm not mistaken, as well as Slender Man, obviously. I know that there's one in specific that actually did end up being true. I can't think of it at the moment. I can't really remember which one it was specifically, but I do know that one of the creepypastas, or a few of the creepypastas, ended up being like actual cases that ended up happening. So like most of the creepypastas obviously have been debunked and have like long since been forgotten and kind of registered as fictive, you know, not real and imaginary. But there are some out there that are actually true that ended up like having some serious consequences to them. Slender Man, thankfully, is not one of them, but the fact that someone tried to summon him by, I'm going to reiterate for the fourth fucking time, stab your friend. You attempted to summon a fictive character by stabbing a person who you supposedly consider to be a friend. And for the fourth time, I'm going to reiterate, you don't stab your friends to keep friendships. That's not how it works. Stop doing that shit. Stabbing your friend isn't okay, okay? Basically, yeah. Stabbing your friend is not okay. Okay? Okay. 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 Sorry. I did not mean to do that. I have my laptop right under me. And I know I should probably like swap and put a camera up, like set a camera up or something like that. My laptop is very slow, and I don't want to try to stream YouTube through my laptop. Thank you very much. If y'all want to like help in the laptop situation, 10 tips. Tips are always appreciated. They should be in the about section. If you have the money for it, and you have the funds for it, and you feel like you can support it, go for it. If not, don't worry about it. I'm not going to ask you to. I'm not going to try to force it, and I'm not going to try to like influence you to do so. I am simply suggesting. I am not trying to enforce a requirement or a request upon anyone. Aside from, please send tips, because it's really helpful. For those who are in the VODs, I know that this is like an hour in, but I see you. I appreciate you. I hope your day is going well. And I hope that I get to see y'all come by the Shavana Lounge, because it's helpful. With that being said, back to the video. I was a creepypasta kid too, but I didn't believe it so much that I wanted to summon one of them. But I like the stories and overall creepiness. Agree, that was me. And then I found out that half of them were actually real, and I was like, what the fuck? Or they were based on real events. To be more specific, they were based on real events that occurred. I need you to do the thing that you do best. Hello, the stream, please. Oh, wait, there was actually one gamer creepypasta that did actually end up being true. Herobrine. Herobrine ended up technically becoming a mod, and so technically speaking, canonically speaking, she has become a true being. I'm mostly joking, partially joking. Alex, shut up. Or whoever that is, shut up. I don't need you to be talking right now. Thank you. I love my brain. 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 But also sometimes I just want to. Alright, anyways. Apologies, continuing on. Limbong.
Incident after that, there was no fight or yell or anything of the sort. They took her into custody with the incident, and the male counterpart that was with her, they took him into custody as well. He was ultimately charged with criminal trespass and obstructing identification for giving us a fake name. We didn't charge her with anything, any local charges, because that just muddies the water for the extradition here. So we just charged her with a warrant, and she was transported to the Cook County Courthouse in Markham, where she'll either tonight or tomorrow morning be transported to 26 in California, Cook County Jail, where she'll await an extradition hearing back in Wisconsin.
What are you guys used to dealing with? I mean, obviously anything can happen anywhere, but do you get a lot of high-profile stuff in prison?
I would say high profile. I mean, we have our share of crimes and people passing through there. We make pretty serious arrests on a daily basis, but nothing of this magnitude with this much publicity behind it.
Sure. So she makes no attempt to resist or anything like that. You take her into custody without incident. Obviously, her presence there, along with the person she was with, it was causing some concern because somebody called from the truck stop to report that these people were there.
Yeah, initially when they rolled up on them, they were sleeping on the ground near the rear of the truck stop, and they had various bags around them containing clothing, things like that. So it just looked out of place that wasn't good for business. So they called our officers to have them removed.
Interesting.
You know, it's honestly wild that, like, even after they ran away, they were just found in the state that they were in, and it's just interesting, to say the least. Because I fully expected this, low-key. Like, when I first saw the video, again, I'm just, like, reiterating just for clarification and stuff like that. When I first saw the video, I was begalled. I can't say that I was befuddled, because it wasn't befuddlement that went through my head. It was shock. It was fear. It was anxiety of basically being the same exact kind of person, you know? It was an implanted fear almost with me. And the fact that it was nearly implanted says a lot about how fucking insane this situation could potentially be if it was someone who wasn't even Morgan Gyers, you know? And, like, I'm not saying that what she did wasn't wrong. It fully was. It fully was wrong. But I will say that she didn't do it with the intention of trying to hurt another person. And I know that's a shitty excuse, because that is, you know, justifying the actions of an attempted murderer. But on the positive side, and yes, I am one of those type of people who try their best to look at the optimism of most situations. On the positive side, the friend did not die. And therefore was not technically killed. So, despite surviving, there is still a lot that that Morgan needs to be accounted for. Like, I'm not like doing the social media take accountability skit. No, I'm not. No, I've already done that. Technically speaking, Mini Lad is my it is my variation of take accountability for that shit, because he never took accountability. He blamed it on mental health. He blamed it on other people. He blamed it on his viewers. He blamed it on himself to an extent. He didn't take accountability. He hasn't taken accountability, and refuses to take accountability for a long time. Now, here's the thing. I recently saw, just like randomly checked his channel and stuff like that. I recently saw that he got robbed. Karma's a bitch, ain't it? And I will say this. This is kind of a small little message to Mini Lad. You're a fucking creep. To start off with. That is the first thought that I think every time whenever I think about you, specifically, Craig Thompson. You are a creep. You have no sense of accountability or responsibility. You have no real right to be on YouTube, in my honest opinion. And I'm not saying this to, like, talk down to him or anything like that. These are just general facts that I feel like are needed to be said. Because Mini Lad being a creep, that is 98% of the people who used to enjoy Mini Lad, you know? 98% of the people. And then the 15% of people who still watch his shit are gullible enough to do so without realizing what type of person he is. Let me just give a little side context here. I know, I'm going on a rant. I've been going on rants all day. I need to go on a rant at some point. We all need to go on a rant at some point. Anyways, side note, going back to the main point. Mini Lad is a lying, manipulative, uncontrollable human being who lacks any sympathy for anything that he has done, said, or committed in the past 10 years. And I will say this, he started off great. He started off fabulously. He started off as one of the most coolest content creators on YouTube. And then Insomniac happened. The campsite and everything like that. Insomniac happened, and everything went to shit. Three minors came out and spoke against Mini Lad. Later on, multiple other accounts were presented against Mini Lad, being accusations of him needing to take accountability. And he allegedly has been doing mental health exercises and been trying to find help. But here's my question. If you're allegedly getting help, where is the proof? Why aren't you showing any proof? What is it that you fear that we're gonna find out when you show that proof? And what is it that you fear most specifically? Posture check. Oh boy, I just saw that. Hello. And then 3 years after after Insomniac happened, he chose see if it's really therapy or counseling time. Or counseling time will only tell if he becomes better. He hasn't though. That's the issue at hand, is that he hasn't gotten better. I've watched his videos. I've tried watching his videos. He doesn't acknowledge it. He doesn't acknowledge it. He doesn't recognize it. He doesn't try to apologize to the people who are like, we will remember. You know, he doesn't do anything to be better. That's the issue here, is that he doesn't do anything to be better. And the fact that he doesn't do anything to be better is what makes him a piece of shit. So, when I saw that he got robbed, my first thought was, karma's a bitch. Well, would you want to relive your worst mistake every time you're online? No, but here's the thing. That mistake, I'm not defending anything about him. That's fair. No, I get that you're not, but like here's my thing, right? If here's an exaggerated hypothetical. If I ended up committing a crime that was worse than murder, if I committed like SA or something like that, or I committed some form of like heinous crime where I stole some shit or something like that, and I was trying to get better, you know, I wouldn't try to ignore the events, right? I wouldn't be over here trying to ignore the events. Like, yes, the events occurred, and yes, the memories will always stay there. My thing is that I'm just thinking all you can really do is apologize and slowly try to reinvent. I'm just thinking, I'm gonna have to wait for my chat on PC to load because I have no idea what you just said. Because my phone is being fucky and weird and bizarre and strange and lost. Very lost, apparently. But yeah, like, no. I'm not like, I'm not saying that like anything that he's done hasn't shown progress. That I don't know. I haven't seen enough of his videos to know if that were actually the case or not. But based on what I've seen of other people's review on Minilad and on how he has tried to show that he's taken accountability, you know, and it's like, I don't know, I get the process, but at the same time, if you're not committing to the process, what are you doing? You know? Because he's not committed to the process. He hasn't been committed to the process. And as far as I know, he hasn't really done much to show that he's been trying to commit to the process. Chat, if you feel like I am being too judgy, please let me know. Please 100% let me know. I don't want to feel I don't want to come off as like the super judgmental, strict asshole content creator who feels like everyone is wrong, because everyone has their own story. That is something naturally that we all have, you know. We all have our own story. We all have our own perspective, and we all have our own way of thinking. Some people's way of thinking essentially makes them into, like, puts them in a state of delusion and makes them think that they're doing good when they're not, or they're committing positive actions where they're committing crimes. Unfortunately, Mini Lad's mentality is equivalent to that of someone who's delusional as fuck. And my ADD's kicking in, so I'm gonna let y'all get some good old serotonin. The Kona bean. She slow. She big chillin'. The big chillin' Kona bean. Serotonin. Serotonin bub. Who likes to stay hidden from everyone. This is very likely going to be a two-parter in the highlight section, but you know what? It's fine. I've been talking way too much. I need to get back to the video. But yeah, I mean, like, you're not wrong. He can just try to reinvent himself, but here's the thing. He hasn't tried to reinvent himself. He's been doing the same content for 4 fucking years. 4 to 5 fucking years. Without any remorse. And the last time that he posted was exactly 4 years ago. And he's been a ghost ever since. Finally. For me, again, I'm just gonna restate this real quick. He hasn't changed. He hasn't fixed himself. He hasn't done anything to redeem himself in any way, shape, or form. He's abandoned the community that he created, all because of his own pride and egotistical morality. I'm sorry, but like, that's the truth. Mini Lad has become an egotistical, lying, manipulative, indescribably disgusting human being, and I refuse to acknowledge him anything else but that. Y'all can have your opinions on it. I'm fully comfortable and aware that y'all can have your own opinions about it. But I got my own opinions too, and I'm going to be saying them a lot. And I know we should be watching this video, but my ADD done kicked in, so mirror. Snarf. Sorry. My apologies. Major distraction. Super focused on the conversation. My brain had to restart the thing that I was saying 3 separate times. Let's get back into the thing.
So she waives extradition, it'll happen pretty quickly.
Is there any of extradition pretty
They have them removed.
interesting? These people were there,
Yeah, initially when they wrote,
along with the person she was with. It was causing some concern because somebody called from the truck stop to report that these people were there.
initially when they rolled up on them, they were sleeping on the ground near the rear of the truck stop, and they had various bags around them containing clothing and things like that. So it just looked out of place, and it wasn't good for business. So they called our officers to have them removed.
Interesting. Do you think that this process will take a long time? Because she could waive extradition pretty quickly.
If she waives
and
extradition,
be on her
it'll
way back to
happen pretty
Wisconsin.
quickly.
I'm sorry.
So if she waives extradition, it'll happen pretty quickly.
Is there anything else you would like to add about somebody like this kind of ending up in your town?
It just goes to show you never know what you're going to run into on a day-to-day basis as being a law enforcement officer. I preach that to my guys every day, and I'm extremely proud of them for the extra work they put into this and pay
Epilepsy warning.
attention to the red flags and push a little further to find out her correct identity so we could get her back into custody.
Yeah, because they could have probably, if they really wanted to, just said, okay, scram.
Right, it's a loitering call, or just sitting on the ground, laying on the ground, no big deal, just, move them on their way. But the officers noticed something wasn't right with the names that they gave, pushed a little further, and paid off.
Well, thank you so much, Chief. We really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me, I appreciate it.
When Morgan Geyser returns to Wisconsin, the state's Department of Health Services could file a petition to revoke her conditional release. The prosecutors in Waukesha County have said they would support that petition if it's filed, so stay tuned for more on this. That's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.
I'm gonna be real. I was not expecting it.